Hi guys. I'm Vernon Cato here to deliver the questions um, for the my theme Q&A for March. Today is the last day of March, March 31st. So I'm here to answer your questions that you had left for me for the theme. What was the theme? These are the submitted question. This is the submitted question part for the series of Grimm. I'm a big Grimm fan. Love the series. Watched it from the get go. Watched it when it first aired. I was very once NBC showed it, I was just like, okay, this is interesting, and it's behind the same people that were behind Angel and Buffy and things like that. So I knew I was gonna like it, and being that I think we've all heard, our parents probably all read once in a while, when we were kids, the one of the Brothers Grimm's fairy tales, whether it was Three Little Pigs or Little Bo Peep or Cinderella or something like that. Yeah. Um, so pretty much. I'm here to answer your questions that were submitted to me. So only three people submitted, so this will be kind of easy. And then of course there's the live session section of the part as well. So I'll look forward to seeing what guys questions you have for me live. But here are the questions that were bestowed upon me, the submitted questions. So the first set of questions come from Big Rick, 91 Big Rick, my friend from Australia. Okay. Um, and his question, he says to me basically, he says, "Hey Chris, thanks for talking about this. I purchased Grimm, and I'm only up to season 3. I'm a late bloomer of the show. No problem. I'm glad that I've always talked about Grimm. I've always told people to get it. The first 4 seasons, I believe, fifth should be out soon, but they're available to be purchased or wherever you need to go watch them. But what is your favorite fairy tale character portrayed in the series? My favorite would probably be uh the Blue Bots, the wolves. I think the way they portray the Blue Bots, that's what Monroe is. He's a Blue Bot. I think is really cool. Um, the way they portray witches, basically the witches are the Hexen beasts. They're the Hexen beasts, and this I think is also kind of cool. Um, but and then there's the Fuchsbau. That is what oh god, I'm forgetting her name. What uh Monroe's wife is, and I think that's really cool as well. So yeah, those are a few. Your next question: what are your thoughts on how Grimm reimagined the fairy tale stories? For example, the blood feud between the uh, Bruvinsfine and the Bluebot. Remember, a lot of these names are very German. They use a lot of German S names. Um, and that's kind of cool too. I like that as well, which is associated with Three Little Pigs. I thought that was really interesting when they brought in the the Bruvinsfine, who is fine is who is the pigs, and the blue bot feud, like Three Little Pigs. I thought that was really cool. There was a couple other ones like the cat and the mouse. They well, see, I don't want to ruin it for you, Rick, because that happens later on in the season. They do another feud like the tale of the cat and the mouse and their feud, and it gets really interesting from there. But yeah, I think that they're doing a good job with that stuff. What are some of your mythological or favorite fairy tale based characters you want to see in a future episode of Grimm? Well, one would probably be not even mythological, but more Yeti, like more cryptozoology. I know they did a Korean, when they did the Korean with Wu. Damn, what was the name of the creature? Uh man, what is it? It's a Korean um like fairy tale monster. I'm forgetting his name right now, but I thought that was really good. I was glad they brought that in. But I would love to see them do more cryptozoology stuff. That since I'm a big fan of that and a big believer, like for example, you know Is there really a Bigfoot or a Yeti? Could you know the Loch Ness monster be? Did they do that? Did the Loch Ness monster, all these other like big like lizard animals be kind of explained through Vesson? For example, not just Nessie, but Ogopogo and all those other big lake monsters, things like that. So yeah, those would be a couple of them. Your next question is: do you think that the Grimm and slash Sleepy Hollow crossover could work if they had individual comic series? Um, Both do have individual. Well, they both had one. I know Sleepy Hollow was doing a comic for Boom Studios, was doing a comic for Sleepy Hollow, and Dynamite was doing a comic for uh, for Grimm. You can find the Grimm series in trade. uh, Go to any place like Amazon or anything like that. You can find them. Just type up Grimm comic books, and you'll find them. The series took place, I believe, between season 1 and 2, so you kind of get a. It was more Nick still learning his heritage and things like that, and the Sleepy Hollow comic was just telling more tales of Ichabod when he was you know, growing up and, before he met the Hessian or the Headless Horseman and things like that. Uh, but yeah, a crossover would be really interesting. But the problem is, uh, yeah, it would be cool, but because it's impossible. I wouldn't say it's impossible because we got Flash and Supergirl, and they're on different networks. But a Grimm and Sleepy Hollow crossover would make more sense to me than the Sleepy Hollow and Bones crossover. I watched that crossover, and as much as I like those two series, it just made me. I'm just like, how this basically indicates that these two series are in the same world when one they're totally different. But it happened. Okay. Next set of questions come from Green Arrow Hunter. First question is, what is favorite type of Vesson? Like I said, blue blot or the or or Fuchsbau. I've always loved those two. Yeah, those are the ones. I mean, I have others, but those are my favorite because almost all the others are just they're villains or anything like that. So it's pretty funny. But let's move on to the next. Favorite Grimm episode. Ooh, good episode. Um, Man, that's a good question because I got plenty. Probably when they brought in the Krampus, I still get a kick out of that. That was crazy. Somebody's naughty. That is still funny to this day. I love when they brought in the Krampus. Um, have they brought in a siren yet? I don't think so. I love the episode where they went uh Rosalie. There we go. Rosalie went undercover in this like Vesson like circus. I thought that was really cool. That was a good episode. And of course, my one of my favorite episodes where Nick got payback from the prince who was responsible for killing his mother. That was probably a season 4 finale or season 4 finale. Yeah, where it was just him. He just beat the crap out of him because I was like this guy got to get it after what they did to Nick's mom. I was like yeah, somebody better get him. So yeah, those were some good episodes. I got more, but those are the ones that pop up right in my head. Next up, favorite Grimm weapon. Oh man, the weapons of that we've seen from the Grimm's episodes are really good. But probably one of my favorite is the I'm probably gonna butcher the name. Uh, Zingenbarst Gurimber. Gruenberg. Basically, it was that huge double, triple barrel shotgun that rifle that was only used to kill the certain Vestin that was like nearly unstoppable. I thought that was really cool. Like it looked like an elephant gun, and the three bladed, the triple blade sword was cool. Um, he had a Nick had a mace, like a battle mace that was really cool too. Uh, sorry. So yeah, there was a couple. Now next question is: do you think that David Guintoni could play Captain Marvel? Thank you for saying that name for the DC Extended Universe. First of all, I've always said this, Mr. Guintoni. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He looks uncannily like Tom Cruise. Like he's related to Tom Cruise somewhere down the line. As for him playing Captain Marvel, uh, I would think they would want to go with someone a little bigger, like muscular, very muscular, especially when you're playing Captain Marvel and Dwayne the Rock Johnson is going to be Black Adam. So it's like you need somebody at that kind of like stature. You know, you don't want to see Black Adam towering over Captain Marvel. You know what I'm saying? But I can see him playing a couple of characters, but probably not Captain Marvel though. No, uh, probably other people, but not him. Let's see who I can see. Vic Sage, the Question. I can see him probably playing the Question. Just because of the role that he's playing now, that kind of I know it may be typecasting a little bit, but I could see him playing the Question definitely. Okay. And the last set of questions come from the Princess of Geeks, my friend Serena Sampson. Uh, are you enjoying Adeline and Nick thing? Oh, you're talking about what's going on now in the season. Uh, sorry guys, I'm eating Lao mein. Sorry. Um, am I enjoying? I wouldn't say it's forced. What's going on between Adeline and Nick? You know, they got a child now, and it was only a matter of time for the writers and stuff started to say, you know what? Let's start hooking them up. Adeline seems to be changing for the better. Because in the beginning she was just a fucking bitch. It was like there were times I was like, man, she reminds me of Emma, Emma Stone, not Emma Stone. Uh, you know, the White Queen. Yeah. And I'm just like, bitch, like fucking bitch, like. But now she's kind of changing. She after she became a mother, she really changed for the better. And she doesn't want to be a hexen beast anymore. And unfortunately, something's going on in this season now that, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Things are not looking well for her. Um, but I'm all right with it. I do wish they had maybe taken a little bit more time with it, Serena, but I'm fine with it. I don't hate it. I just wish, like, I was just like, really? Like, that quick? You know? Next question. Does Wu need a girlfriend? uh, Does Wu need a girlfriend? I think any red-blooded guy in the world wants a significant other, and I wouldn't think that Wu wouldn't want a significant other in his life. But you got to remember, he's a cop, but he's also part of Team Burkhart, Team Grimm, and it's like sometimes that don't always match up. But I wouldn't mind seeing Wu with a girl, maybe even a Vesant, like she turns out to be a Vesant, but she is a part of the team. Are you happy Juliet is back? Correction, her name's not Juliet anymore. And once again, to anybody watching this who's not caught up, you should be cutting this flat right here. But if you don't like being spoiled, okay. Uh, I thought that was the biggest shocker because I thought she was dead. I thought her character was gone, and they kept saying she's dead, she's gone. She's already working on a new pilot for a new show, and that was probably the best kept secret for the show ever, that she was still a part of it, just as a different character. And I tell you, the actress who plays Juliet, her eyes are scary too. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the lighting, because when I see interviews with her, her eyes are very bright and vibrant. But when she's on that show, her eyes are dark and it's scary. Like when she stares at you, it's like she is looking into your soul, and it freaking scares the crap out of me. I'm like, don't look at me like that, please. There's a scene where she, as her new character, I won't ruin what her new character is, when she's talking to Nick. They come into it. There's like in a restaurant, and they go into Nick's perspective of the viewing of it, and you see her, and she's just looking at, and it's just like, ugh, it's just so scary. Like, oh my god, like stop looking at me. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I'm happy that she's back. It's gonna be interesting to see how she's gonna play off this character, how we saw her as Juliet. Now we're seeing on that other side of the coin. It's just like, damn, she's good. You know, um, should there be another Grimm on Team Nick? Besides Treble, you mean should there be another Grimm? There is another Grimm, but he's not really into it, and we saw that in I think season 3 or 4. Treble sent him off somewhere to hide because he really doesn't want to be involved in it. But if you mean another Grimm, besides Nick's mother, who is deceased now, and now that they've kind of gone on record to showcase who are the living Grimms now, um, it'd be maybe a little too late now, Serena. But that is it, guys. That is all the questions that was bestowed upon me in terms of the submitted part of the theme Q&A. I'll be back again, guys, for part 2, which will be the live part of the theme Q&A. This is what I'm gonna do now. For now on, for my theme Q&As for my monthly, there will be the submitted part, and then there's gonna be the live part. But other than that, guys, this is my kid. Say peace, one love, stay tuned, keep real, guys. I'm trying to enjoy my Lao mein. It's shrimp too. But other than that, you guys take care.